Bro, you could literally eat pizza and burgers and still lose fat. Now, I know that sounds like complete BS, but the fact that you're thinking that is probably the reason why you're still fat. No offense. But don't worry, we're about to fix that. Tell me if this sounds familiar. You spend all week eating clean. You eat chicken, rice, the healthy snacks, all of that. But by the weekend, you finally crack, and not in a good way. You start to binge eat all of the food that you have been avoiding. And now you're praying and hoping that all that clean eating throughout the week just cancels it out. But sadly, it does not. And now you're gaining and losing the same 10 pounds over and over again. I've been stuck in this exact same loop 2 years ago. Bro, it's time to try something new, because what you're doing clearly isn't working. Imagine a reality where you can eat all the foods that you like to eat and still lose a pound at the end of the week and still lose the fat over time. This is my reality, and by the end of this video, it'll be your reality as well. I'm about to say something that might actually piss you off. You might even click off this video, but you gotta hear it. You are not disciplined because you're eating clean. You're actually lazy as fuck. And the reason why you're lazy as fuck is because literally it doesn't take that much time to track your foods and weigh your foods and track your calories. But tracking your foods and weighing your foods is a game changer for weight loss. It guarantees that you will lose weight. Whereas when you're just eating clean, as you guys like to say, you're just guessing. And when you're guessing, you're always wrong. Now, admittedly, when you first start tracking calories, just like doing anything that you don't know how to do for the first time, it will take you time to get used to doing it. And instead of 5 minutes per day, it'll take you probably 10, 15 minutes per day because you don't know how to track calories. But once you get it down, it'll only take you 5 minutes per day to track your calories. And you mean to tell me you're not disciplined enough to take 5 minutes out of your day to track calories? You think you're disciplined because you're eating clean, but you also aren't disciplined enough to take 5 minutes to track calories. Learn how to track your calories, dude. Learn how to weigh your foods. Now let's talk about when it comes to weighing your foods and tracking your foods in bulk. Now, when it comes to tracking your foods in bulk, I mean, like when you're tracking and weighing your foods and meal prepping for the whole week, instead of thinking, okay, let me just eat clean, you need to actually track your foods. That way, you know exactly what you're eating and exactly how much you're eating. Now, when you do this tracking for the whole week, it may seem like it might take a long time. It takes me around 30 minutes to track all of my foods throughout the week for me to make meals for 5 days out of the week. But even if it takes you an hour to track and weigh all your foods for 5 days out of the week, it only took you 1 hour to guarantee that you stay on track with your diet for a whole 5 days. And then on a weekend, if you don't feel like meal prepping on that day, you could just make the foods on that day since you might be off work. And then it might take you 5 to 10 minutes to weigh and track that food. But the point is, I'm trying to get you guys to understand, once you learn how to track calories and weigh your foods, the sky's the limit. You no longer have to guess about how much you're eating. And then you can start going back to eating clean, but like actually tracking it. Now, tracking your calories does two things, actually. It guarantees that you don't eat too much, but then it also creates the biggest red pill moment of fitness and dieting ever, which is you can literally, at the end of the day, fit a quarter pounder from McDonald's into your calories and still lose a pound that week. I know because I did this. I'll never forget it. I was literally doing schoolwork and I did not feel like making myself something to eat or any type of snack or anything. So all I did was say, I'm gonna give me a quarter pounder. I looked at the calories, I tracked it, and no kidding, I did this 3 days in a row. I did it 3 days in a row. And at the end of that week, I lost 1.5 pounds. Dude, tracking calories is king. And if you're not tracking calories, you're slacking, dude. Now notice I only said a quarter pounder. I didn't say the fries. I didn't say the drink, all that stuff. Tracking calories will also help you find what real balance is. And we've been running away from real balance because we thought that eating clean, eating all these different type of foods, suffering and not eating the foods that we like will actually make us reach our goals. But that's not actually the case. You can't just avoid all the things that you like to eat because, like I said earlier, it's going to make you binge on the weekends. So when you figure out that you can actually scratch that itch on a every other day basis or on a once a week basis at least, it's going to stop you from going to McDonald's and ordering everything on the menu, and then instead you'll just order maybe a burger and a diet Dr. Pepper or a diet Coke or something, and then you'll finally realize, like, hey man, like, this is actual balance. Balance isn't me going and eating everything I want at McDonald's. It's me going to McDonald's and getting just a quarter pounder. It's me going to McDonald's to get the diet Coke. It's not me going to McDonald's and getting every single thing on the menu. That's what tracking calories teaches you. Now, we low-key could end this whole video right here now that you know about these calories and things like that. But I wouldn't be very honest if I didn't give you very complete information. Some people get the whole calorie deficit down. They have food freedom. They pretty much eat whatever they want, but they fill all their calories with just the bad stuff. Now, like I just said just now, balance isn't going to McDonald's and ordering everything on the menu. Balance is going to McDonald's and ordering just a quarter pounder and the Diet Coke for you to be able to experience a little bit of freedom without going completely crazy. So some people, they take this whole calorie deficit thing and they fill all of their calories with straight junk. Now, I'm not saying that you won't lose weight, but you'll lose weight, but you'll look like a melted ice cream by the time your weight loss is done, unless you do these three things. And the first thing and most important thing is the protein. You want to eat protein because it helps maintain muscle, and it also helps you recover faster when you're sore from the gym. A lot of people, they go to the gym, they work out, but they come back sore as heck and they lose motivation because they're not recovering like that. Protein will solve that problem. And protein also helps you feel full. Second thing we need to focus on, we cannot cut out carbs. We need to be eating carbs because carbs literally make you stronger. They literally give you energy for the gym. The last but technically most important thing on this list for cutting is fiber. The thing about fiber is you have to be very intentional with getting your fiber in because there's not a lot of fiber in foods for some reason. But you mainly get them from like fruits and vegetables, and there's a bunch of different things. I like to do tortillas, keto bread. There's these really cool like brownie snacks that have 7 grams of fiber and they're 70 calories. That do the trick. But what fiber basically does, it does two things. For one, it keeps you full for longer. And two, it also helps support digestion. Eating fiber will help you create that balance as well, because for those people that I talked about recently, just that I talked about not too long ago, that fill all their calories with junk and just do the calorie deficit thing just by itself and just fill all their calories with junk, those guys never last because they end up being hungry because they don't have a lot of fiber in their diet, and so they binge eat. So if you don't want to feel like you're actually on a diet, eat more fiber than what's recommended, but you have to take it slow because fiber can make you feel a bit bloated. So I'd say start out trying to get 30 grams of fiber per day. Me personally, I like to get 45 to 50 grams of fiber per day. And I kind of don't feel like I'm on a diet, but I'm still losing weight. Now let's pretend you got all of these things right that I listed in this video, but you're still trying to do things like overly perfect. You're gonna lose, because when you keep trying to do things overly perfect, you're gonna end up crashing, burning out, and then you're gonna give up and all that stuff. But we don't want that to happen. We want an average of consistency. So take me for example. I'm trying to eat 2,200 calories every day on a daily basis. Today I ate 2,300 calories. Does that mean I messed up? I want to give up? I want to burn out? No, it does not. It just means that I'm literally just 100 calories over my deficit for today. But overall, in the grand scheme of things, one bad day isn't going to hurt my progress. Not at all. Because I've been staying on my 2,200 calories for 3 weeks now, and I've already lost 2 point something pounds. So one day isn't going to ruin the progress. And that kind of dives into the psychology and the hellish, loopish, purgatory-like psychology of a person who tries to eat clean and is still fat, because they're doing everything they can, at least they think they are, to get to their goal. They're suffering to get to their goal, and yet they're still binging and being fat at the end of the day and losing the same 10 pounds over and over again. I feel for those guys because it could all be so very simple. I want you guys to know that you do not have to suffer your way to this goal of weight loss. Weight loss is very simple, especially in America. We got so many options, so many different ways to stay in a deficit, keto bread, all types of things. It can be so easy. And so the best diet isn't the harshest one, the one that makes you suffer the most, the one that's most miserable. The best diet is the one that you can stick to. And I believe that my way is like the best diet for people who want to like get to their goals, but not like lose their freaking minds trying to get there. And so in conclusion, don't try to suffer your way to a goal. You need to build a life that makes it easy to reach your goals. You need to kick out this idea of, oh, I have to suffer, I have to grind, I have to go so hard to lose all this fat up off me. Reality is you don't. Invite the idea that this can be easy. So if you can follow all these steps in this video, then you will lose that weight. And I'm living proof, because I was 240 pounds and now I'm 175. So if you like this video, do all YouTube stuff. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.